For years, BYD was treated like the quiet kid in the corner. No flashy ads, no bold promises, just factories humming, engineers working, and a vision that seemed almost too ambitious to be real. But today, that quiet challenger has become the storm shaking the entire auto industry. BYD isn't just competing anymore. It's rewriting the rules of the road. While the world was watching Tesla and Toyota battle for dominance, BYD was building something else in the shadows. Something so efficient, so unexpected, that it could flip the entire industry on its head. And the craziest part? This breakthrough isn't decades away. It's here, right now. Success never happens overnight, and BYD is the perfect example. While rivals were chasing headlines with futuristic concepts and flashy launches, BYD kept its head down. No hype, no noise, just an army of engineers working relentlessly. Day after day, year after year, they built the foundations of something bigger. Behind the scenes, a workforce of more than 1 million people and over 120,000 engineers poured their energy into one mission: to transform mobility itself. Factories rose across China, supply chains were secured, and battery technology was perfected long before most of the world even realized what was happening. That patience paid off in 2024. In just 1 year, BYD sold more than 4.3 million vehicles, surpassing every competitor and claiming the crown as the world's top electric vehicle manufacturer. But here's the twist. Those numbers are only half the story. What really sent shockwaves through the auto world wasn't just BYD's rise to the top. It was the technology hidden inside their newest cars. Because while others were fighting over market share, BYD was quietly preparing to launch something so radical that even Tesla and Toyota had to take note. The moment arrived in Seoul. A packed hall, cameras flashing, and a quiet confidence from BYD's leadership. No overblown hype, no theatrical stunts. Just 2 cars rolling onto the stage, the Chean LDMI and the Seal 6 DMI. At first glance, they looked sleek, modern, and understated, the kind of cars you'd expect from any successful automaker. But the real story wasn't in the design. It was in what lay beneath. Inside these cars was a breakthrough the industry never saw coming: BYD's 5th-generation dual-mode hybrid system. A piece of technology so efficient it left experts stunned. The headline number? A staggering 2,000 kilometers on a single tank of fuel and charge combined. That's not just impressive. That's world-changing. Think about it. In an industry where range anxiety has haunted electric cars and fuel efficiency has capped hybrids, BYD had quietly engineered a system that obliterated both problems at once. It wasn't about choosing between performance or efficiency anymore. For the first time, drivers could have both. And this wasn't a futuristic concept hidden behind glass panels. These were real cars, rolling off real production lines, ready to hit real roads. But how does a modest 1.5-liter petrol engine, paired with an electric motor, achieve something that sounds almost impossible? On paper, BYD's new engine doesn't sound like much. A 1.5-liter petrol engine producing just 99 horsepower? By traditional standards, that's nothing to brag about. In fact, it looks almost underwhelming. But here's the twist. When paired with BYD's electric motor, this small engine delivers results that defy expectation. There are 2 versions, one tuned for everyday efficiency with 161 horsepower, and another pushing up to 215 horsepower for those who crave more punch. But raw power isn't the headline here. The true shock lies in efficiency. This engine achieves a thermal efficiency of 46.06%, a number that might sound abstract until you realize what it means. It beats Toyota's world record and edges dangerously close to Formula One levels of efficiency. For context, most gasoline engines waste more than half their fuel as heat. BYD's system doesn't. Instead, it squeezes every drop of energy, turning it into motion instead of waste. The result? Over 80 miles per gallon, even when the battery runs low. And this isn't some lab experiment or concept car trick. This is a mass production reality, designed for millions of drivers. How did BYD pull this off? Through a combination of smart engineering. A 16.1 compression ratio that pushes fuel efficiency to the limit. Split cooling systems that keep the engine running at optimal temperatures. Precision combustion control that maximizes every ignition. And minimal internal friction so nothing gets wasted. The outcome is a ride that feels smooth, quiet, and almost effortless, but with the kind of range and fuel savings that completely rewrite. Most automakers build one hybrid system and call it a day. But BYD didn't stop there. They understood that drivers aren't all the same. Some want maximum savings, others crave performance, and a few want to take their cars far beyond paved roads. So instead of one version, BYD created three. The first is the DMI, designed for efficiency lovers. It's the everyday commuter's dream, a system that sips fuel, stretches range, and delivers comfort without compromise. For people who simply want to save money and drive smarter, this is the hybrid that makes sense. Then there's the DMP, performance-tuned. It blends the instant torque of electric power with the muscle of a petrol engine, creating a driving experience that's sharper, faster, and more exciting. This is the hybrid for those who want more than just efficiency. They want fun. And finally, the surprising one, the DMO, a hybrid built not for the city, but for the wild. Off-road terrain, steep climbs, dirt trails, and that's where BYD's secret weapon changes everything. Every revolution has a core, and for BYD, it isn't just the engine, it's the battery. While the world was focused on chasing bigger packs and higher costs, BYD went in a different direction. They didn't just upgrade the battery, they reinvented it. It's called the Blade battery, and it changes everything. Instead of the bulky, box-shaped cells you find in most EVs, BYD designed long, narrow cells stacked side by side, like blades in a row. This simple idea solved one of the biggest problems in battery design: wasted space. With the blade structure, energy density jumps by more than 50%, giving more range without needing more size. At the same time, the battery itself becomes part of the car's structure, stronger, safer, and smarter. But the real magic isn't just efficiency. It's safety. Batteries are notorious for being unstable under stress. In the industry's most brutal test, the nail penetration test, most packs catch fire or explode. The Blade battery didn't. It stayed cool, calm, completely stable. That's because it uses lithium iron phosphate, a far more reliable material that avoids the heat risks tied to nickel and cobalt. Then there's longevity. After 3,000 full charge cycles, the Blade battery still retains 90% of its original capacity. In real terms, that's years longer on the road, fewer replacements, and less environmental waste. Add to that faster charging speeds and better heat resistance, and you get a battery that isn't just safer, it's smarter. The Blade battery proved that EV technology doesn't have to compromise between power, safety, and cost. BYD managed to deliver all three at once. And with this, they weren't just ahead of the curve. They were rewriting it. But BYD's vision of the future wasn't just about power under the hood. It was about intelligence, giving the car itself a brain that could think, adapt, and protect its driver in ways traditional vehicles never could. If the Blade battery is the heart of BYD's revolution, then the Xuanji architecture is the brain. And this brain is unlike anything the auto industry has seen before. Think of it as the car's central nervous system. Instead of relying on dozens of separate chips and scattered processors like most automakers still do, BYD created a unified platform, a single, intelligent core that controls everything from performance to safety to entertainment. The result? Speed and efficiency. Commands that normally take seconds happen instantly. The car learns how you drive, anticipates your needs, and adjusts in real time. It's not just responding, it's predicting. Even more impressive is the level of safety integration. The Xuanji brain constantly monitors the car's surroundings, battery health, and driver behavior, making split-second decisions that keep passengers safer than ever. Pair this with BYD's advancements in autonomous driving, and suddenly, you're looking at a car that doesn't just drive, it thinks. But perhaps the most revolutionary part is its upgradability. With over-the-air updates, this brain never gets old. Instead of replacing your car to keep up with new tech, your car evolves with you. Overnight, a BYD owner can wake up to a smarter, safer, and more capable vehicle without stepping foot in a dealership. In other words, BYD didn't just build an electric car. They built a living machine, one that grows smarter every single day. And all of this leads to the question everyone in the auto industry is asking right now. If BYD can deliver this kind of intelligence, safety, and for years, The global auto industry dismissed BYD as just a Chinese brand, a domestic player that could never compete on the world stage. But that illusion shattered the moment BYD stepped outside of China. In Europe, their sleek Atto 3 SUV and Seal sedan didn't just sell, they stunned critics. Reviewers praised their build quality, range, and price, often admitting that BYD had caught up, and in some cases surpassed, established European automakers. In Southeast Asia, their hybrids and EVs are already dominating sales charts. And in Latin America, entire fleets of BYD electric buses are transforming public transportation. The real shockwave came in 2024 when BYD officially outsold Tesla in total EV deliveries. For a company once dismissed as a quiet challenger, this was more than a milestone. It was a signal that the balance of power in the auto world had shifted. And BYD isn't slowing down. With factories being built in Thailand, Hungary, Brazil, and possibly Mexico, BYD isn't just exporting cars anymore. They're planting roots, securing supply chains, and tailoring models for local markets. That means lower prices, faster delivery, and a stronger foothold against legacy giants like Toyota, Volkswagen, and Ford. But the disruption goes deeper than just numbers. BYD is forcing the world's most powerful automakers to rethink their strategies. Suddenly, companies that relied on brand reputation and loyal customers are realizing that quality, innovation, and affordability can all come in the same package. And that package says BYD on the badge. This isn't just competition. It's a reordering of the global auto. The auto industry has seen giants rise and fall before. Names that once seemed untouchable, Nokia in phones, Kodak in cameras, even once mighty car brands, all faded when they failed to adapt. So the question is, will BYD be the disruptor that rewrites history, or will it one day face the same fate? Right now, the signs point to BYD's momentum being unstoppable. Their grip on the battery supply chain is unmatched. Their ability to produce affordable hybrids and EVs at scale leaves rivals scrambling. And their expansion into new markets is accelerating, not slowing down. But challenges are on the horizon. Governments in the West are already questioning China's growing influence in the auto sector. Trade restrictions, tariffs, and political pressure could slow BYD's march. At the same time, legacy automakers like Toyota and Volkswagen are finally waking up, pouring billions into EVs and hybrid technologies of their own. And then there's Tesla, leaner, faster, and with Elon Musk still determined to prove it can hold the crown. So, can anyone really stop BYD? Maybe. But here's the truth. Whether they dominate for decades or force every other automaker to change, BYD has already done the impossible. They've shifted the conversation, proven that innovation doesn't just come from Silicon Valley or Japan, and reminded the world that the auto industry is far from predictable. One thing is certain. The race is no longer about who invented the future of cars. It's about who can deliver it. And right now, BYD is delivering faster, cheaper, and more effectively than anyone else. The storm that started in Shenzhen is now global. And whether you're a fan, a critic, or just a driver wondering what car you'll buy next, you can't ignore it. Because the future of the auto world, it might just have 3 letters on the hood: BYD.